Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the Everton Stadium update for the 9th of November 2024. Now, going over the site today, I've made some notes for the East Stand Fan Plaza as well as the Inner Bowl, so we get to have a little talk about that whilst we're flying over, and it's not going to be my usual rambling mess. I'm joking, of course. So, going over right now the East Stand and everything, it's just disappeared out of view, but it will pop into view again. So there's going to be two benches, well, I say benches, like solid foundations that you can actually sit on and everything, just outside the East Stand. So, obviously, they're trying to accommodate for everyone around this fan plaza and whatnot. And they are really nice, so you can actually see the finished article further down towards the south stand and the unfinished one up here close to the north stand. So one thing of note as well, you'll see this in particular on Nick's channel, Mr. Drone UK, so if you want to have a look at them up close and personal, they are on there. They look really nice, lovely blue brick effect, and they look absolutely magnifique. They're very Goodson-esque, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, so they do look absolutely spot on. You can see one right here now, so I do actually zoom in on it. How about that? And I move further over and you'll actually see the blue one in just a second. But like I said, there's, at the very end of them, there's like little end caps there. And they're going to be statues there. So I'm a little bit up in the air on what the statues are meant to be. Now, if it was me doing it, I would probably go for something that's a little bit closer to our times. So I know Dixie Dean and the Golden Vision at Goodison and everything are a really big thing, but we're talking the 1920s/30s and the 1960s, if I'm not mistaken. I do apologise, I don't seem to know my history today. But yeah, so I would like something that's a little bit more closer to the modern day. So I would like to say Neville Southall. I mean, we're talking about one of the best goalkeepers in the world at his time. As well as maybe Howard Kendall. I mean, he was one of our most successful managers. He's won, I believe he won the league with us. He won the FA Cup with us. He won the European Cup Winners' Cup with us. So someone like that, to honour them guys, would be the ideal one in my personal opinion. If you guys think someone else should be going in, then you're entirely entitled to your opinion. At the end of the day, it's going to be Everton who are going to do this, so they're the ones who are going to put it in at the end of the day. I mean, hell, knowing them, they probably do Denise and Bill Kenwright, because why not? But yeah, going over the south stand at the moment, so there's not too much in terms of an update. You can actually see the lights sort of glowing a little bit there, even in the daylight. And one thing of note, right now my main focus is something that actually caught my eye when I was doing the fly around the east stand. You can actually see there's like a little bit of an alcove there, so that is where the Everton way is going to be. And I'm not sure whether it's just the height that I am. I'm sitting around 60-70 meters at the time, looking down on it. It doesn't look all that big, but no doubt, I mean, hell, the Genie as well as the industrial forklifts are much, much bigger than you can see. The camera, how can I put this? The camera's point of view doesn't do it any justice, because just bear in mind that south stand itself is absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest stands in the league at the moment, and potentially, I wouldn't say world football, because some of the South American stadiums are just otherworldly. So yeah, so it's going to be nice to see that getting put in. And as from what I've been told, Everton are going to be hiring someone to do that. So when they get the keys from Lango Rourke, they're probably going to be hiring someone to get them put in. I've got one myself, and it's the details of myself, my mum and my granddad. 3 massive Evertonians who have been going the game for as long as we can remember. So I'm going to be looking out for that one. I'm going to try and find it. So yeah, so I've actually tried to come a little further back here when it comes to the west stand. I wanted to try and see this little car park area in better detail. It's weird how they've sort of done it. I would have thought they would have done it in a more uniform shape, but you know what? It's fine. I mean, to be honest, if you look at it and squint so seriously, it's the FC from EFC. So maybe if they put a roof over the media area there and put an E on there, that'd make it even more suitable for it. So yeah, and looking over the west stands at the moment, so you can see that the gating off to the side there by the north stands, that's pretty much close to completion, and the decking right by the waterway, that's pretty much done and dusted now. So I think they've got 99% of it done, unless they're going to be putting another layer over it, in which case it's only half done. Also, the stairs there, so that's an interesting one. You can see there's like a little bit of a gap by the stairs at the very far left corner. It's just gone our screen now. So if you want to rewind a little bit, you can see it there. So I'm assuming that could potentially just be a little bit of electrical work that's going on there at the moment while they're finishing everything off. But overall, the West Stand itself is looking really nice. It's nice. It's pretty much close to finished. All it needs now is just heavy machinery. It gets moved off site. For example, the Blue Genie down there. Some of the little bits are sitting there right in the middle of the tunnel. I'll tell you what though, that is going to be a nice one to walk into. So if you park up there and you go over to, and you sit in the West Stand, you can probably park at the back and you can literally just walk into the West Stand there. That's a really nice little seating area there. Also going over the North Stand at the moment, so you can actually see the container there for the Syscratch machine. Now, back when I was in Christchurch, I've probably already told you this story, but back when I was in Christchurch, I was working with the Canterbury Crusaders, so the rugby team over there. And they actually had one of these machines for their field, well, their pitch. Just mostly for the fact that it is very hard wearing when you're playing rugby. If you've ever seen the studs on a rugby player's shoes, they're a lot more heavier wearing, and if they were to play on a standard, almost like a normal field or a pitch, they rip it up beyond all belief, because I cannot tell you how many Sunday League games I played, and it's basically been a rugby pitch be repurposed into a football pitch, and it just feels like you're playing in a bog. It's that bad. So yeah, ramble over on that one. Looking over the North Stand up, that's pretty much all done and dusted down there. They've still got to take the plastic cladding away from the sheet metal that they got down there by the turnstiles. But other than that, it is pretty much done and dusted. But looking over everything, panning over, it looks lovely. It is really nice. Once Everton get the keys, it's a finished site. I'm probably going to have to see what is going to happen to the site once Everton get the keys. What's their personal touch is going to be. Is there going to be a lot of work, because we're not going to be able to do weekly if they're just doing little bits here and there. I think it'd be more beneficial if we did it on a monthly basis, if you get where I'm coming from. So yeah, so let's talk about the pitch development for a sec, and you can see that the Sys machine has been in full action. So as they said, it's going to take them roughly around 10 to 12 days, so they're in the first week right now. And looking over it, you can see that they've been full on with it. The pitch is nice and full on green. So bear in mind, the green that you're seeing there is all the nylon fibers that they've actually injected into the pitch themselves. Now bear in mind, these things penetrate right through the top layers of soil, right through into the deep core part of the soil itself. It's more likely to the sand itself. Now, I'm just going to make a very quick divert here. So you can see, you've just seen one there in the left corner. You can see one here in the center, and you'll see one on the right corner. So these themselves, I've been torn between two opinions right now. So I've had one person tell me that these are only temporary, mostly down to the fact that you can see that the other chairs are there. So what's going to happen is, chances are it's going to be cameras are going to go in there, and you can see things from your seating perspective when it comes to you renewing your season ticket. Another person has told me that apparently these are going to be permanent, and that they are focused on the corner flag as well as the center of the pitch. I am more inclined to go with the former, just for the fact that you can still see the seats there, because if they were going for the latter, that means they're reducing potential capacity in the stadium, and I know we do not want to be sacrificing capacity in this stadium at this point in time, especially with the uproar from the fan base. So yeah, looking at the Sys machine there, it is a massive machine, I'll tell you that. And it's the exact same one that was used in Christchurch. So yeah, as we're saying with that, the nylon fibers that are going in right now, they're the things that you're seeing that are actually greening up the pitch. They go very, very deep. So they go way below the top layer of soil and everything. They're going right through to the core, and they help bind the dirt together. So the pitch will get used week in, week out. And let's say, for argument's sake, Everton do actually get into Europe at some point in the near future, or we have other events happening between games. This field will be a lot more resilient than most fields, well, most pitches in the Premier League. So it's something that is very much beneficial for us from a cost effectiveness. But that's everything, guys. I'm sorry this one was a little bit of a ramble, but it's one of them things. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Take care, up the fucking toffees, and peace.